What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Six Man Blitz episode. We got a great episode for you guys today. Playoff football, and the Bears are included. Some great stuff to discuss. There was an NBA thing that I was going to talk to you about too. Trey Young. Apparently, he says he wants to go to the Wizards. First person ever to say that.
He trying to get a bag. He know they gonna pay him, so I'd
Oh
go there
yeah,
too if they was gonna pay me.
they got a nice young core building too. So who knows? That could be something. But how you doing today, man? My co-host, Mr. Ryan Wynn.
Hey, always doing well, man. I know the Bears didn't get it done, but at least we got a week 19. A lot of teams can't say that, so feeling good about
Right.
that piece.
In your opinion, has this been a peak NFL season? Hear me out on this. 6 different division winners. 3 of them have had first year coaches. And then 3 of them have been led by second year quarterbacks. So a lot of parity this year. You really don't know who's going to come out the AFC. NFC, Seattle looks like the king of that right now, but anything could happen. What's your thoughts on this season?
This season has been one for the books and one for the ages. I feel like this is one of the first seasons where we could look back and say that the Super Bowl favorite probably isn't going to be in the Super Bowl. Um,
Yeah.
you can go back 5, 10, however many years you want to go back. Like you're always able to pick the best team in the NFC, best team in the AFC. The last few years has been the Chiefs, it's been the Eagles, it was the Rams one year. Like, but you kind of knew that. This year it just feels different. Like there's like a new sheriff in town. There's a new team
Yeah.
that's going to take over. Definitely in the AFC, no matter what, right? Because the Chiefs aren't there. The team in the AFC is going to do it. Now, if the Eagles don't make it, the Rams don't make it, it's going to be a new king of the NFC. So I'm looking forward to see who's coming out, aka the Bears.
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny because I mean, we could see Drake May, Denver Broncos, Bo Nix. That could be the AFC Championship game very well. And it's not Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. It's 2 second-year quarterbacks. So it's amazing to see. I think I seen a stat that said Matt LaFleur, the Packers coach, he's the oldest head coach in the playoffs in the NFC, which
Wow.
is crazy.
Wow. Because
Or
he's young
something
for
like
a
that.
head coach. No, he's
Yeah,
young for a head coach. So
him
that's
and Salah,
insane.
I think. Oh no, him and Shanahan. I
McVay?
think it's one of the
Shanahan?
McVay. Yeah,
Okay. I thought it'd be McVay.
McVay's pretty young too. I think they were
Yeah.
all on the same coaching staff at one point. So yeah, I'm excited to see this playoffs. Do you think the playoffs is gonna live up to the hype with all this parity?
Absolutely, absolutely, and I love the first round matchups as well. Like there isn't
Oh
a
yeah,
game that I don't want to see. Now there's a game that might be boring. I think that Houston Pittsburgh game might be a little boring, but
they
other than
might
that, man, every
they might
every
clap
game,
Rogers.
yeah, every game should be a pretty good game. I don't see like anybody getting blown out. I don't really not even the Panthers. I think all games will be really good games to watch.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, even that Panthers game. It's funny how they got into the playoffs. You know, ironic. NFC South has been chaos, but I think they were the more deserving team than the Bucks because the Bucks went like 1-7 their last 8 games. They
Yeah,
did it to themselves. So I'm surprised Todd Bowles still has his job.
yeah, I thought thought they were gonna get him the boot too. If you get Harbaugh the boot, you get anybody the boot. So.
Right, he's the first motherfucker that should have got fired. Zach Taylor too with the Bengals, but
I don't know
um,
how he keeping his job, man. He must be in deep with them, man. Cause wow,
got some crazy shit on him.
my goodness.
Yeah,
Actually, I saw a report that said that as soon as Harbaugh got the boot, his agent said that 7 NFL teams called to check in on him, but only 6 head coaching jobs are available. So that tells me that there's one team out there that called that has a active head coach at the moment, and that could be Zach Taylor. Because I'm
yeah.
surprised he still got a job.
Missed the playoffs the last 3 seasons is crazy work for bro. That Super Bowl run is saving his life and his ass.
Yes.
With this playoffs coming up, Josh Allen, if any year was gonna be his year to win the Super Bowl, it would be this year. But if he comes up short, like I think he will against the Jags, what do you think the narratives will be surrounding him?
Yeah, you actually had a question, and it was the player under the most pressure in the playoffs, and my answer was Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Why? Because there is no Mahomes, there is no Lamar, meaning there are no excuses for him not to go out and get it done. Me and you are on the same page. My hot take last week was I thought the Bills were going to lose no matter who they matched up against.
in
They
the
just
first
so
round. Yeah,
happen to have to match up against probably arguably the hottest team in the NFL right now
yeah.
in the Jags. I think that the Jags will win, and I think that will take a big hit on Josh Allen's legacy. And I think their coach might be under some fire as well because this is their year to actually get it done. There is no next year.
Yeah, if you're not going to win it, when is your year going to be? I mean, you look at John Harbaugh being finally let go with the Ravens. Their Ravens are going to get a new head coach. Things could be different with them finishing games and closing games out and stuff. You look at the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is going to come back and be healthy. The AFC is only getting deeper. I know their run defense is ass. They're terrible, but this is like Josh Allen. You've been a superstar in the playoffs. It's time to be that guy, be that Super Bowl winning quarterback. Because yeah, if you don't do it this year, I don't see another chance you have that is as good as this. I hope they just treat him like they treat Lamar, bro. They need to be on his ass. You know they're not though.
Come on now. You know they're not going to do that, man. For obvious reasons, they're not doing it. But
But back to playoff talk. Which wild card team in the NFC and the AFC do you think has the best chance to make it to the Super Bowl? I know one team we're thinking in the NFC.
yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the Bears, but they're not. I guess I give you a different answer. I won't give you the Bears just because this is a Bears podcast. I can't do that. A Chicago podcast, if you will. AFC for sure. I got Houston coming out the AFC. But if Houston can't get it done, the Jags are my second pick, definitely. I know it might not be the most popular pick, but definitely the Jags or Houston coming out the AFC. The NFC, I want to say the Bears. I won't be biased. I think the Rams still have a great shot at getting it done if the Bears cannot. But I don't see why not. Caleb can't do it. I think he'd get it done.
I like Houston. I think that defense is fantastic. D'Amico Ryans is a fantastic coach as well. And then CJ Stroud, I feel like the offense is building some good momentum. They have an offense. And CJ Stroud, playoff time, he's good to knock off. He's good to at least win one playoff game. The Ravens got in his way the last time in the second round and stuff, but he's good to get one playoff game at least. So I think he moves on. And then they're going to probably face the Denver Broncos, which that defense I think could pull off an upset. So I can see them making it all the way. In the NFC, I won't go the Bears, even though that's where my heart is, like we said. I'm gonna go the Eagles. I think
Whoa,
this Eagles defense is a Super Bowl winning defense. They're still like that.
whoa,
And Jalen Hurts, he may not be a regular season guy. He may not put up the godly numbers. Playoff time, he's that guy. Playoff time, I never got to doubt him in the big games.
whoa. I love the enthusiasm, but I don't. I understand how in certain sports, at certain times, players can flip on switches, right? Especially
Yeah,
in the game. You know, you have bad first, bad second, bad first half, bad third quarter, in the fourth quarter. Great players, what do they do? They flip the switch. I don't know if there's a team that can flip a switch. They played terrible offensively all season. I don't know if there's a
they
switch that you
did.
can flip to magically, boom, we're gonna be the best offensive team. We're gonna go to the Super Bowl this year. Um, I don't know. I know they can do it because they did it last year. So I know they can do it. I just don't know if they have the switch that they can flip and get it done again.
Their shit comes in spurts too. Like they go to the Super Bowl, they lose, they win the Super Bowl, they have a down year, they lose in the
Every
playoffs, and then they
time.
go to the Super Bowl, and so it might be the year where they just get out of the playoff and bounce out of the playoffs. Maybe it's the Bears that do it to them in the divisional round. But that's a team that I'm thinking I could see it. I could see the frameworks of it. A similar question to the last one though. What do you think the most underrated team in the playoffs right now is?
The most underrated team, I'd just probably say the Jags, to be honest. I'm not going to say the Bears. I'll say the Jags. I know they have a great record. They're one of the hottest teams. They had a great win streak, putting up a ton of points, but I just feel like the national media doesn't talk about the Jags enough. And I feel like the average fan who doesn't lock in every single game doesn't understand what the Jags have just done this season. They
Crazy.
were not favored to do anything this year. They killed the second half of the season and pretty much dominated every single team that they played. Trevor Lawrence is finally playing like the number one pick in the draft. The defense has been balling all season. This ETN, man, after the season he had last year, I thought it
He's
would be done
cold.
this year and they give it to Tank Bisbee or something. But no, ETN has been revamped this year. The Jags are the team to watch in the AFC, especially when we're talking about a team that's underrated.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. I think defensively they get the takeaways. They're the second defense with the most takeaways behind the Bears. But I saw Rex Ryan. He's like, yeah, they get takeaways like the Bears, but they also stop you too instead of the Bears. So, yeah, this defense is legit. They got all the pieces. They got a good defensive line, good secondary, and then offensively they could put up points with the best of them. So this is a team that's very dangerous. Um, I said the Eagles again for this question. I know.
Back to back.
I know. What game are you most excited for this playoff run?
I think the game I'm most so
Well,
you
for
had
this
two
wild card.
questions, right? Okay, for
Yeah,
this wild card, the game I'm most excited for, I would say the Eagles and 49ers.
I think that's going to be a
I
peak game.
yeah, I think that's going to be a peak game because I feel like the average fan thinks the Eagles are going to win. They're at home, but Brock Purdy and them boys, CMC, they've been playing really well. So I think this is probably going to be the most exciting game this weekend just because of the offense, the defense, like both are pretty much high level. It's going to be peak football when that game comes on.
And they're both kind of have a little rivalry going. In the previous years, they've met up in the NFC Championship game. That one game, Brock Purdy, I think, got hurt, and the Eagles went on to the Super Bowl and stuff. So there's a little heated rivalry going within these two teams. So I think 49ers, Eagles will be peak. Packers versus Bears, I think that's going to be a very entertaining game. Third time's a charm.
Definitely.
I'm hoping and praying the Bears come out on top, bro. I
Oh,
can't lose.
they
I
will.
can't lose to these motherfuckers in the playoffs, bro.
I want to make another point on the Eagles 49ers game. When I was looking at who I thought was going to win the game, I gave it to the Eagles simply because of the 49ers mentality. I think I heard George Kittle say in the press conference that he was a Cardinals fan because he didn't want to play the Eagles, which tells me why are you ducking the smoke? Why are you ducking the
Yeah.
Eagles? Like you're supposed to embrace that. So that
Yeah.
already said, okay, I think the Eagles are gonna win because they got they 49ers
They
basically love
live in their
bro. They
mind.
love bro. Yeah, they love bro.
It's going to be exciting. Both of those games, I'm going to be locked in. It's an exciting slate of football. This wild card's going to start off with a bang. What are some bold predictions you have for the playoffs?
I've said this before, but I think again the Bills will lose in the first round, and it will be some changes made on that team, big changes. Um, Obviously, Josh Allen isn't going anywhere, but the GM has to go. He has to. How long have we been saying Josh Allen cannot be your best passer, runner, and receiver? He just can't. They were supposed to answer the call with Coleman. They gave up. They
I
didn't
like
get anybody.
cookies.
So I think the GM definitely has to go, and the coach might go as well. But the GM, if they don't win one or two playoff games, the GM has to go because it will be because Josh Allen don't got nobody to pass the ball to.
Yeah, and Keon Coleman, healthy scratch every fucking game. The Cam Newton meme on his ass, I keep seeing it. It's hilarious every single time. Uh, but yeah, this Bills team, if they lose, it's gonna be tough. Changes need to happen. I even seen people say John Harbaugh could take on that job. If they decide to move on from Sean McDermott, which would be
Yeah,
interesting. Who knows? They probably the team that called. But I think Jalen Hurts has an elite performance against the 49ers. He outplays Brock Purdy, throws 3 touchdowns. Him and AJ Brown, they're connecting. He has a diamonds dancing in the press conference after the game. I think it's that kind of game for him this weekend.
yeah. Like I said, I agree with you. I think the Eagles are going to win the game simply because the 49ers are little bro. So yeah, no disagreement there.
And I also think a blowout will ensue. I think the Texans blow out the Steelers. And then
Mm.
if Harbaugh got fired, Mike Tomlin, I like you. You're my guy. But interesting conversations will continue.
I don't see a blowout only because the Texans ain't really like that on offense. They can score, but they're not putting up a bunch of points. Like a
No.
blowout would be like 21-7 or something. That'll be the biggest blowout that you'll see in that game. But yeah, the Texans are definitely gonna pull it off easy.
That defense is Aaron Rodgers is 42
Lights
years
out.
old. He
Yeah,
can
he older
barely
than LeBron.
move. He showed a little bit against the Ravens, but I think that defensive line is going to dominate the Steelers tackles. You have no Broderick Jones. You have a backup tackle in there. Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter are feasting. So that's another bold prediction I have. Who do you want to see win a ring this year the most? Like one
Yeah,
player you want to see. It would have been Lamar, but his ass is gone.
would have been Lamar. I'm not gonna again. Of course, my answer is Caleb and the Bears, but I won't do that. But I'm gonna say C.J. Stroud, man.
Yeah.
C.J. Stroud is one of those guys who's a young up and coming black quarterback, who's had some early success in this league. That defense is super dominant, and to see what Houston was able to do after moving on from Deshaun Watson and getting C.J. Stroud, he always talks about his faith in God and everything. He seems like a really genuine, nice guy, good person. So I would love to see if Caleb can't do it, I would be definitely cheering for him to get it done.
Yeah, that's my team I'm rooting for too and riding for out the AFC. I really don't like any of the other AFC teams other than Houston. And then the NFC, I think I would probably, lean more towards, the Bears, Seattle. I wouldn't mind to see Jalen get another ring. That'd be nice, but motherfuckers would have him as the best quarterback in the NFL if he wins another chip.
Bro, if he gets another chip, it's over with. They gonna have to bow down to Jalen Hurts. You're gonna have
For
to.
real. The league run through Jalen. But yeah, so Caleb and D'Amico Ryans and CJ Stroud, the Texans, I would love to see them get a chip. But let's get into the playoffs. Let's start off with wild card weekend or whatever. Rams versus Panthers. How competitive do you think this game's gonna be?
I think it'll be competitive just because it's the playoffs. In football, we don't see too many blowouts in the playoffs. The games are
No, we don't.
typically pretty close. So I would say that I got the Rams 28-17.
That's a fair score. I'd say yeah, they win by 2 possessions, but it's relatively close throughout. Matthew Stafford puts up a nice performance. Bryce Young plays decent. First playoff game, gets good experience. But I'm gonna say yeah, like 28-14. Rams pull off the victory. Yeah, Puka Nakua, Devontae Adams is supposed to play too. So yeah,
Yeah, he should be back.
they're getting reinforcements back at the right time. So I think the Rams handle business. Bears versus Packers. Let's break it down. Bold
This is
predictions for
going to
this game.
be Yeah, this is gonna be a very close game. It's gonna be a back and forth game. Bears are not gonna just walk in the sunset and get this one done. I think that Caleb puts the team on his back like he has the last, however many weeks. I think defense can finally get a third down damn stop at the end of the game, and we ride off into the sunset by a field goal. Give me the Bears 27-24. Stamp it.
Okay.
We're getting it done. We're going to the next round.
I like Caleb Williams he's risen to the occasion a lot this season. In the big moments, he's been clutch. He's shown he could do that. This is a good opportunity to see what we got with our guy in the playoffs. And, this is a big game for us. When's the last time we had a playoff victory? Been in the playoffs alone, too. Very important game. What do you think a win would do for the Bears in this fashion against this opponent?
Man, when I
It's our
talk about
Super Bowl.
tears coming up, when I talk about tears coming to people's eyes, it's not even the fact that we win a playoff game for the first time in Lord knows how long. It would be against the Packers on top of that.
Sending them
Like,
home.
you talking about Christmas in December, and then we getting Christmas in January on top of that? What? You talking about tears? This is our Super Bowl. People gonna drop to their knees. I'm what? I'm not gonna be able to sleep for 2 weeks just waiting for the next game to come.
Watching every Bears reaction video, every Bears
What?
spot. Bro, our Super Bowl would be the 49ers taking out the Packers in the playoffs. I couldn't imagine what it would feel like taking these motherfuckers out of the playoffs. Now, it'd be a great feeling. Caleb Williams, I think they're up to the challenge. I think they can do it. Now, the flip side of that, what would a loss feel like?
A loss, a loss would be very devastating. A loss would hurt bad, and again, for the same reason why a win would feel so good, a loss will feel worse just because of um, who the opponent is against, and that's the Green Bay Packers. I'm not gonna put a loss and that negativity out in the air because I truly think that we'll beat the Packers. But if we lose to the Packers, man, it's gonna be a long, long winter. Just thinking about what we could have did a little bit differently.
We will never hear the end of it either.
No, we won't.
We'll never beat the ownership allegations by the Packers. But I think, yeah, the Bears pull off this victory. I think as long as we start the game out like we should. And as long as we don't abandon the run game, Kyle Monangai, Swift, those guys should be the biggest X factors in this game. Derrick Henry ran for almost like 200 yards, 3 touchdowns against the Packers. Why can't the Bears do that? We very well should be able to do that. And if we could Trapillo, Romadunze, Kyler Gordon, I'm confident that we could take down the Packers. The blitzing doesn't work against Jordan Love. We need as much guys in coverage as possible to limit what they're about to do to us. So Caleb Williams rises to the occasion. Think he has a big game. Give me the Bears 30, 31 to
Mm,
28. 28. High scoring game.
yeah. We just got to get off the field on third downs, man. And we can't, if it's 3rd and 8, we can't let it be 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2 because it's the playoffs. They're going to go for that every time, especially
Yeah.
midfield and on. So we need to get some sacks on third down. We need at least 3 or 4 sacks in this game, which we have not had for a while.
I know. Yeah, Montez Sweat, Booker, those guys need to get home. So we'll be a very fun game to watch. Hopefully it's a fun finish as well too. But let's get into the Sunday games. Jags versus Bills. You said you got the Jags. Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence, I think he has a big game. What would a score prediction be for this one, you think?
Yeah, Jags 34, Bills 24. This is the only game I have in the 30s just because the Jags offense has been like
They're like that.
ridiculous. Trevor Lawrence is playing the best football of his probably his entire life right now. So yeah, I just don't think the Bills have enough defensively to stop that offense. And I
Me
think
either.
even though the Bills offense is really good, I don't think they can score as easily or as much as the Jags.
Yeah, I think the Jags are going to put it on them offensively and defensively. It's going to be a tough day for Josh Allen. It's going to get sacked. Secondary is going to make it tough. If they take away this run game, if they make them pass the ball, they're cooked. You know, if James Cook has a big game in this one, then I could see the Bills coming out
Mhm.
victorious. But yeah, that run defense for the Jags is pretty good too, along
Yeah.
with them getting takeaways. So I like the Jags to win 28-17. 49ers versus Eagles. What's your score prediction for this one? You got the Eagles, right?
Yep, I got the Eagles, man, by a field goal 24-21. I just think that the Eagles are a better team than the 49ers. Don't
Yeah,
let that Bears game fool people where they put up 40 on our heads. Like, they ain't doing that to the Eagles.
that defense is too good.
Yeah, they're not doing that to the Eagles. The Eagles will win this game by 3.
You think Jalen Hurts balls out? Who's a better quarterback at this game?
Uh, I mean, the better quarterback is the one that won the Super Bowl, but I don't think Jalen Hurts balls out. No, if balling out is 170 and a touchdown, then yeah, he'll ball out. But no, I just think
And
that
a tush push.
yeah, I think he'll hand it off to Saquon for one, maybe within the 3-4 yards. He'll throw for one, might push for one, but it won't be a dominant quarterback performance. It'll just be like what they call him a game manager. He'll manage the game. The defense will get stops, and they'll win this game just simply because of his management. He won't turn the ball
Yeah.
over.
And I think that's a big thing too. Whoever doesn't turn over the ball, Brock Purdy, he struggled against the Seahawks defense. I think the Eagles could replicate that with how good their defense is. So I think, yeah, that would be the biggest story of this game, how good the Eagles defense was to limit this production for the 49ers offense. So it's going to be a low scoring game, 2017. Eagles win. But
I
Jalen
agree.
Hurts has 3 TDs. Maybe,
Mm.
yeah, 21-17. Jalen Hurts had 3 TDs. Next game, Chargers versus Patriots. We really didn't talk too much about this one. Who you got in this one?
You asked me a question earlier. You said, which game are you most excited for? I said the Eagles and 49ers, but I think the best game to watch will be this game.
It's gonna be fun.
Both yeah, both teams really good offenses, both teams very good, solid defenses, both have really great coaches, and coaches staffs, both have great quarterbacks. These are 2 very polished teams, but I think the Patriots continue their dominance and they win this game 28-20. I just don't think Jay Herbo and those guys have enough to overcome this dominant Patriots team.
Yeah, and this pass rush, I think, is going to have a nice day. Harold Landry will be a huge factor off the edge. No Joe Alt, no Rashawn Slater. Offensive line for the Chargers is struggling. If they can limit this run game, if the Patriots can dominate in the trenches, Justin Herbert's going to have to be a star, and we haven't seen that yet from him in the playoffs. We've seen a lot of times he's come up short. Drake May, this is his first playoff game. I'm excited to see how he does, but I'm leaning more towards the side of him dominating him having a good performance and this run game being a huge factor. dominating the Chargers up front. And, Stephon Diggs, maybe with the allegations, all the shit he's got on the side, he uses it as fuel and he has a big game.
He uses choking chefs as fuel. I love it. Come on, Stefan. You know better than that.
Bro, he's a menace. The more I hear about Stephon Diggs, the more they always show that video of him in the Vikings locker room, like, oh, who would you not let date your sister?
Diggs, 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 Diggs.
They
Everybody,
didn't
Diggs,
have to
Diggs,
say
Diggs.
nothing. They just had
Oh, what? Diggs, of course. Stefan Diggs, Diggs.
He's a villain. We need him to be a villain on the field, though. We need him to have a big game against the Chargers in that secondary. So I like the Patriots to come out top. I think their offense has a better performance, and this is a big win for Drake May and the Patriots moving forward. Mike Vrabel, too. I think he wins the chess match between him and Harbaugh. So big game for the Patriots. Justin Herbert comes up short once again. Final game, Texans versus Steelers. What's your predictions on this one?
Yeah, give me the Texans 24, Steelers 14. Texas, we all know they have the best defense in the NFL right now, if not second behind Seattle. Um, they're dominant. Aaron Rodgers is not a mobile quarterback at all. They'll keep him in the pocket. They'll sack him. They'll get to him, make it tough on him. And offensively, man, I think CJ Stroud is more in that like Jalen Hurts conversation in terms of like really good game management. I think he'll
Yeah.
do his job and manage the game the right way, and they'll win this game by 10.
Now, Zay Flowers went off against the Steelers. Some of the weapons, the secondary for the Steelers has not been that good. They've put a lot of money. They've added a hell of people from the street on this squad. Jalen Ramsey, he's knucklehead every now and then, makes plays and stuff. But Nico Collins is going to have a big game. 200 yards, close to 200. 100 plus yards receiving. He's going to have a huge game on the secondary for the Steelers,
Damn. You
in my
said
opinion.
200 yards receiving, my heart jumped out my chest. I'm like, damn, 200? You about to get
But
the record on that?
the Texans have had some really good young weapons step up this year. Xavier Hutchinson's been great in spurts. Jaden Higgins has been great. So I think the Texans' weapons show up big, and a nice game from Woody Marks in the backfield, 70, 60 yards as he usually does. So the Texans' offense shows up big, and they limit the Steelers to 10, 14 points.
I'm in Minnesota, so FanDuel is not legal here. But you are in Illinois, my boy. Go ahead and put Nico
Put in
Collins
that
for
parlay.
200 yards and a touchdown. And if you put $1 on that, that'll win you $1 million. So go ahead and get rich.
So my thing is, all right, 200 might be an exaggeration. I think he has 150. 150. I think he
Okay,
goes off.
150. All right, okay,
I
cool.
think he
One
goes
dollar
off.
get you like $1 get you like 100 for that one. All right, that's
I'll
better.
take it.
You about to get paid $1 million if that parlay hit, boy.
I would take Texans to win probably 28-14, 31-14 maybe, depending on around that range.
I agree.
This is gonna be a classic performance by D'Amico Ryans. They always come out in the first round hot and they win these football games.
Every
They
time.
they
Every
blew
time.
out the Browns. They blew out, who was it, the Chargers last year. Herbert threw 4 interceptions. So they are an elite wild card team.
This is a team that I'm super high on, especially second half of the season. I think that them and the Jags are like my two favorites coming out. I think I said that earlier in the show, but would not be surprised if Pittsburgh does get blasted.
Oh yeah. So now finishing up the playoffs, what would be your AFC and NFC championship game matchups and your Super Bowl matchup now?
Yeah, so for the AFC Championship game, I think Broncos versus Houston. In that game, obviously, I already said I got Houston taking that one, but I do think the Broncos are a really good team, especially they'll have home field advantage throughout, and it's not going to be easy to win in Denver. So um, I think that they have the path to success over on that side of the bracket. In the NFC, I have the Rams versus the Bears in the NFC
Okay.
Championship again, and I think that will go through Chicago if that were to happen, which would be nice. So, and I got the Bears winning in Soldier Field that game. I already said this,
Okay.
but Chicago versus Houston in the Super Bowl.
It's Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would love
yeah.
to see that. So who would you have winning that game? The Super Bowl.
Um, as a football analyst, Houston. As a Bears fan, I got the Bears, of course.
Okay. The parade, we gonna be lit. We're gonna be going crazy
It's a
that day.
parade inside my city. Yeah.
So I would say, I think Jags versus Texans, AFC Championship game, AFC South matchup or whatever, and I would have the Texans winning that football game in a battle, going on to the Super Bowl, and then I would have Bears versus Seahawks in the NFC Championship game, and unfortunately, that game's going to be in Seattle, 12th man. I think Seattle wins that game, and I think it's Seattle versus Texans in the Super Bowl.
Hey, if that happened, we're gonna cry in the car.
Hey, but I'll be cool with the NFC Championship game. I'll be cool with that.
Nah, man, we go that far. We gotta get out. We gotta get through.
I know.
Can't stop that
But
early.
I think JSN for to put up 200 against our secondary.
Yeah.
That won't be a
And
bad
literally 200. Literally 200. Not no Nico Collins 200. That's gonna be 200 for real. Yes,
for
absolutely.
real. So Seattle would win that game and they would move on to play the Texans, and I have the Texans winning it all. So that's our Super Bowl matchups. Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.